Mythologies are a reflection of humanity's efforts to face the unknown. But there are some myths that are not just stories, they are the embodiment of our deepest fears and darkest nightmares. Today, we will tell the story of a being that stretches from the deserts of the Middle East to the depths of Anatolia, the Ghoul. The origins of the Ghoul are rooted in Persian mythology. Known in Persian as Gulyabani or Gulyabani, this being lives in forests and harms people. This myth symbolizes the cruelty of nature and the deep human fear of nature. The Ghoul is not only an element of fear, but also reflects people's fear of nature and their environment. This monster, which lives in the forest and harms people, represents the wild and cruel aspects of nature. The struggle of people to cope with these harsh conditions of nature is embodied in the legends of the Ghoul. Gulyabani has gained an important place in Anatolian mythology over time. This creature, which wanders in the dark and secluded places of Anatolia, appears to scare or harm innocent people. Gulyabani, depicted as a giant with a long beard and a staff, is a powerful and frightening being. The Ghoul myth symbolizes the wild and cruel aspects of nature. This being, which appears in the desolation of the desert or in secluded places in Anatolia, reflects the fears of people against nature, such as being afraid in the forest, being alone in the dark, living alone at home and children staying away from strange people. Ghouls set various traps to hunt people. It lurks in dark and secluded places and hunts innocent people. According to legends, the methods used by the Ghoul to scare or eat people are quite detailed. He approaches them as if he were a friend, chats with them, establishes friendship with them, and ends up ruthlessly, plays with children, entertains them, sees them in a secluded place, and feasts. The Ghoul does not only eat living people, but also likes to eat dead people. The Ghoul has also found its place in popular culture over time. From literature to cinema, this terrifying being has become a motif that feeds people's imagination and fears. Ghoul forms an important part of a society's cultural memory. It has deep meanings that reflect the history, beliefs, and values of a society. The legends of the Ghoul symbolize a society's fears and anxieties about nature and the environment, and show how these fears affect people's lives. The Ghoul is not only a mythological being, but also a mirror of our fears and anxieties. Its stories show the fears that people have against nature and how these fears affect our lives. It is important not only as a mythological being, but also as a symbol. Its presence symbolizes the fears and anxieties people have towards nature and their environment, and shows how these fears affect people's lives. The fact that the Ghoul lives in nature and harms people symbolizes the wild and cruel aspects of nature and reflects people's fears of nature. There are even a few incidents in the Middle East that show the existence of the Ghoul as a real thing in a really scary town at nighttime. He used to knock on the doors of sleeping people who lived quietly in their homes and throw stones at their windows. Imagine you are alone in the house, you are going to sleep. The door knocks very violently and there are noises coming from the windows. It would be unbelievable. And then when they went to open the door, they did not see anyone. It stopped for a few minutes and this happened again, but with a louder voice. This event lasted for a few days and ended, but the town said that the person who did this was very tall, white dress, white beard, and sweaty feet, and as soon as he saw him, he ran away and no such being was seen after this event. The story of the Ghoul is perhaps a mirror reflecting our deepest fears. In order to face and understand our fears, it is important to know the stories of such mythological beings. Remember, behind every myth lies a reality. I suspect that these beings are not a figment of imagination. Much more has happened in this world we live in these thousands of years and continues to happen. If you like this story, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our new videos. Follow us for more journeys into the dark world of the Ghoul. Goodbye.